How's everybody doing today? And welcome to Mike Dub 27 Trading. And today we're going to be talking about something different, and that's how we're going to approach this week. So, this week, what I'm going to do, I'm going to start the first video of a playlist I would like to call the 50K Challenge. I'm going to take $500 and turn it to 50K by the end of the year. If not, then I'm going to dance like a chicken. So, anyhow, we're going to go ahead and we're going to create a playlist. Not a playlist, but a stock list. We're going to go ahead and create the watch list. And we're going to call this watch list the 50K Challenge. What I'm going to do, I'm going to go ahead and create that list. And then we're going to add certain stocks that I'm going to use to do this challenge onto it. So first, of course, Lucid, because not only is it the gift that keeps on giving, but because it said that it has a target price of $10. So $10 per share by the end of the year actually gives me a little bit of a direction on how to go about getting there. So we're going to go ahead and add this to the list. All right. And then I'm also going to add I Am Gold to the list just because I Am Gold has been kind of doing this thing as well, going in between $6 and $6.10, $6.15. So I'm going to go ahead and we're going to add this to the 50K challenge list as well. Now, and of course, those are both small stocks, so there may be a time when I may have to go big. So we're going to go ahead and go to the big dogs. All right, now we got to find at least one stock, not too big, something we can still make money with, but also not too small to where it only really goes up and down, when it comes to the cents and not the dollar amount. And looking at these, the only stock that really comes to mind that actually has some real movement and you can still get enough to where it makes a difference would be the Robinhood markets, because it goes in between 40 or 41 to 43 and 44. We could do something with that. So we're going to go ahead and add this to the list as well. So we're just going to be doing those three stocks right there. So now let's go ahead and go to our list, 50K challenge list, and here we go. So this is what we're going to use to get to that goal. And we're going to look at the goal at the end of December. So it will be December the 31st. And we'll go ahead and see where we're at that particular time. Now, when it comes to Robinhood markets, one thing about it is it has a market cap of 39.28 billion. So this is definitely going to be the biggest stock that we have. Average volume being 53.53 million. Volume just right now, 43.67 million. As far as news is concerned, Robinhood market surges 21% as Fed holds interest rates steady. So we're definitely going to see some movement when it comes to Robinhood coming up this week. So that may be something Monday that we jump in as well. So we can take advantage of that. Of course, buying it at the dip, usually before 9 o'clock. That's when it usually tries to dip. We can see that even with this graph right here. Matter of fact, let me go ahead and pull up the candlesticks. All right, so let's go to right about here, and we can see you got that drop down to $43, and then of course just keeps on going up until you hit about 44.70, 44.65. So we can definitely see that that's a good marker to get in at. Even right here, 9:30, between 9 and 9:30, that's usually when you're at your low. And then right after that, that thing shoots up. All right. IM Gold. Look at it right here. 935. It kind of starts dipping. 940. So this may be one where you really don't want to get in until right around 10 o'clock. And then after that. But like I said, with this, I'm really just looking at that price. Just because that's been kind of the pattern that it's been moving at. So we're going to go ahead and do a price alert. And we're going to go ahead and put in $6 for the low. And then we're just going to work it like that. Matter of fact, let's go ahead and do that with the rest of them. Robinhood Markets, price alert. That's an old price alert. It hasn't been down that far in a while. So for the low, we're going to go ahead and do, let's just say 41. All right. That'll be when we get in there. All right. And then, of course, last but not least, good old Lucid. Price alert. I like that 220 that it hit the other day. So we're going to go ahead and try to get around that. The only thing is, this may have been a fluke. Sometimes it only goes down to 230, but we know it's going to go up past 230. So, but I'm going to do 225. We'll go ahead and do 225 for the low. Because we don't want to miss anything either. All right. And this is going to be our setup for the 50K challenge. And we will touch bases at the end of each day and see what goes on with that. Matter of fact, because we have the weekends as well, it may be some points where maybe we have to jump into some crypto just because you can trade crypto 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. But not all cryptos are created equal. So the only crypto we will deal with will be XRP just because we're familiar with it and we know what it does. XRP, we know that it's going to hit 230 and then it's going to go up to 240. All right. Unless something crazy happens, which we don't think it will, just because of what's going on with the rates. This is one of those where you just get low and you sell high, but you don't get too comfortable with it because, of course, that's when things get crazy. It says even right here at News BTC, XRP 2025 surge is coming, and this crypto expert knows why. And then it just goes into talking about that. Something you can read, for yourself if you feel like it. But yeah, so that's going to be the list that we go ahead and do this challenge with. The goal really is whenever these arrows are red, we're buying. Whenever these arrows are green, we're selling. We're just going to keep it going 5, 6, 7 days a week. And then we'll see what we get in December the 31st of this year. All right. So hopefully everybody has a good day. Enjoy your weekend. And I'll probably do a video Sunday and just kind of doing a recap of everything and, any new news going up. But this is definitely going to be the play for this week. So everybody have a good evening, and don't forget to like and don't forget to follow. This is Mike Dub 27 Trading, and I am out. Deuces.